No problem, Grandma. Give me 1 second. Psalms 25, chapter 4. No, Psalms chapter 25, verse 4 and 5. I'm sorry. Show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me. For you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all day long. Oh, thank you, Dr. Brittany. I thought Sister Mayflower was going to introduce me or do her usual speaking. I wasn't sure. Otherwise, I would have already started. Uh, but all right. Col- Colossians chapter 3, verse 13. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, sizes, numbers, and colors, welcome to your weekly night, every Friday night session of TSU, taught by your host, Lord of the Night. Here with me we have Bill and Fred, your co-hosts. How's it going, everybody? My name's Bill. My name's Fred. And we got a great one for you guys today. We spoke with Ibisu last time, if you guys remember. Yes, we had got a chance to interview Ibisu on our podcast, and we decided, hey, why don't we get Ibisu to bring some of his buddies with us? Yes, it seems like Ibisu is really taking on to the learning about Jesus as well. Yes, last I saw Ibisu, he was reading the Bible, wasn't he? Yeah, he was reading the Bible, which is crazy. But we have someone special. We don't have anyone here, but so far we're doing Daikoku-ten. Now, if I remember correctly, Daikoku-ten is one of the seven gods of luck, right? Yes, hmm, the seven gods of luck, the seven kami of luck. How would they pronounce that? I don't really know. But luckily, we have our host over here, Lord of the Night, willing, ready to give us our little education session. How are you, Lord of the Night? I'm doing good, guys. It's good to see you all here. And God bless everyone that's in this chat. Bill, Fred, thank you for the intro. Announcer, dude, thank you for the intro as well. All right, everyone. Shall we get started? This episode of TSU is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes to save you 50% or more on car insurance. No. But, all right. Enough with the games. Let's go ahead and get started. So, the guy we are focusing on today, as you've heard in the intro, his name is Daikokuten, who is the Japanese god of luck and fortune seeking who favors the bold. You ever heard the saying, fortune favors the bold? Well, that's essentially his shtick. If you're a warrior seeking glory, or if you're taking a big risk in something, and you're seeking, like, you're fortune seeking, or if you're just looking to have some type of something good happen to you after making a big risk, he would be the god to bless you. Daikoku-ten would be the one to bless you with what it is that you're seeking for, or maybe more of what it is that you're seeking for. So let's hop right into it. Now, Daikoku-ten is the Japanese god of luck and fortune seeking who favors the bold. A revered household deity, he is one of the seven lucky gods who bring prosperity and good fortune to Japan. Now, some FAQs, frequently asked questions. Does Daikoku-ten have more than one form? Daikoku-ten is also frequently depicted as Daiko-kunyo, she of the great blackness, who is particularly worshipped as the god of thieves. A part of me wants to say that that's slightly racist, but I'm gonna let my humor just be tucked in for a little bit. It's already early and they already started. So much for good luck, so much for luck and fortune seeking and favoring the bold. No wonder thieves be all types of fortune seeking. They are pretty bold if they want to be stealing from people. Ain't gonna be catching me stealing from Shaquille O'Neal. No, sir. I'm good. He see me, he'd be like, "Are you suffering from back pain?" Like, no. Well, now you are. And then I'm about to get fold, and then he folds me, and then I really am would be suffering from some back pain, and then I had to get some icy hot on that if I live to put on icy hot. That's what I'm saying. Now, another question they asked: where did Daikokutin originate? Now, in our podcast interview with Ebisu, he said the other six lucky gods originated from other areas. They were all kind of copied and pasted. But he's the only one that originated strictly from Japan. So I'm assuming Daikokuten would be originated from somewhere else. So it says Daikokuten is a syncretic deity. I've never heard that word before. Who originated as the Hindu god Mahakala, incorporating other beliefs and representations on their way to Japan. So he's not necessarily just a Japanese god. He is also a god in Hinduism, a Hindi god. And I guess all the gods in mythology must really know each other. I can't say that because that's going to spoil a movie. But um, I guess all the gods of every mythology know each other, but somehow none of them know Jesus, which is crazy. But then again, it makes sense because Christianity is not a mythology, and Jesus is real, and myth is in the word mythology, which essentially means storytelling or fake, something false, fiction. And it would make sense why none of them know or mention anything about Jesus Christ. So that would just make a lot of sense. But at the same time too, that's kind of crazy how the Hindi gods and the Japanese gods are all connected. Similar to how the Greek gods are also Roman gods. Now that is because a war happened in Rome where they took over Greece, so they would fight against Greece. And that's something completely different. That is something completely different. So they ended up taking up the gods and they just kind of made them more rough with the Roman names. Like I forget who Mercury is, as far as his Greek counterpart. No, wait, that's Zeus, I think. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. We're not talking about Greek mythology. We followed them already. Now, as the god of luck and fortune seeking, Daikokuten is an important household deity, also known as the god of five cereals, and it's spelled as in cereals you eat for breakfast. So I'm curious as to what five flavors. If I had to think of five cereals, number one, I'm automatically gonna say Reese's Puffs, and then I'm gonna say Applejack, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Fruit Loops with marshmallows for Pastor Rock, and let's throw in some Raisin Bran in case if anybody like Raisin Bran. I'm good on that, but still, I think First Lady Rock loves her Raisin Bran, so yeah. The god of five cereals. That's crazy. So not only is he the god of luck and fortune seeking, who favors the bold. That's a comma. But he's also the god of thieves and the god of cereals. Can they be more creative than this? Because that is amazing. Those those bold enough to make their own fortunes receive Daikokuten's blessings. He is a localized form of the Indian god Mahakala, which I figured. We just talked about this. Now, Daikokuten means God of the Great Darkness. That's your name. That's the meaning of your name. That's the crazy part. How do you get so convoluted into like how does that become so like contradictory? How are you the god of good luck, but your name means great darkness? So like Someone help me. Which is it? Are you the god of, but then again, he is also known as Daiko Kunio, which also means she of the great blackness. I don't know if this is a typo, but I doubt it. She of the great blackness. So, like, is it a girl name? Daiko Kunio? I don't know. Now, it refers to his nature as the god of fortune seekers, which that's what his name. Well, that's why his name is God of the Great Darkness, or Daikokuten. He has several additional forms, the most well-known of which is a feminine form known as Daikokunyo, meaning she of the great blackness, or Daikokutenyo. I think I said that right, meaning she of the great black heavens. So he's essentially, I'm just gonna say, I guess non-binary? I don't know. I don't know. He is also known as the god of five cereals. We already named those flavors. Let's see. Ah, everyone's favorite part, the attributes. Daikokuten is a highly revered god, a household deity whose images people often keep in their homes. I wonder what he looks like. He brings prosperity and invites fortune. He is revered, especially in the kitchen, for his blessing of the five cereals, including wheat and rice. That is crazy. I made a joke. I didn't know that that was actually what they. Wow. They, their cereal is wheat and rice. And I mean, it's not crazy to think wheat for a cereal, but rice? I don't know. I don't know. I've never had rice cereal, and I don't think I ever will. No, never say never. All right. One tradition called, I'm going to butcher this so bad, so forgive me, please. I don't know how to properly say this, so wish me luck. Fukunusubi. 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 One tradition, called Fukunusubi, holds that Daikokuten favors those who steal household shrines dedicated to him. If they are not caught in the act, they are said to be blessed. Wow, that's why he's the god of thieves. So he encourages you to do thievery. Uh-huh. He encourages sin. That's crazy. Huh, that's good to know. Daikokuten favors the bold, the fortune seekers willing to take risks. In this way, Daikokuten, as she of the great blackness, is also the god of thieves, whose luck keeps them from getting caught. So essentially, if you were to go to Japan right now and look on a Japanese dude or a Japanese dudette, I don't know, whatever, and you decide, hey, I'm gonna steal from them, and you just try to steal from them, apparently Daikokuten will be above you and will bless you for the fact that, hey, you're putting your neck out there to commit sin. You're gonna be committing thievery. You're gonna be a thief. You're gonna be stealing, burglary. You're doing a burglary, and I appreciate that. You want to know something, actually? Now I'm about to hit you with a real life story. First off, I guess, random shout out to this YouTuber I watch on these stories named Popo Medic. He covers real stories, and one of the stories he covered was a 300 million yen bank heist. And fun fact about the guy who did it, was never identified, and he never got caught. To this very day, he could still be alive. It's said that he's still alive with all that money, all 300 million yen, which I believe translates to a little over $3 million in US dollars. Like this man is rich, set for life. And this happened back like 1980 something, 1980 something. It was around that time. And I guess the meme of where they say all Asians look alike, it's a weird thing to say, but it's crazy because the person who they tried to identify, they identified so many people that was supposed to look like the guy, and they couldn't find him. They had to let them go. It got to the point where the Japanese government was getting sued for taking in people and identifying them like that. Just
prosecuting him and trying to figure out who it is. Some people went to jail and had to get released. Some people went to prison, had to get released. Some people got like taken in custody. Some people had their belongings taken because of it, and they had like identified some people, they it was crazy because this one guy tricked the security. And how did he do it? He told he basically told the owner of the bank or the manager or the whoever, whatever they call them, who usually has the keyword password to the vault or some way to get to the vault, the person who's over the bankers in that specific building. He told the guy that he wanted to work there, but the guy rejected him. Then he wrote him a letter, but he didn't actually write a letter. He took newspaper clippings and spelled out, I have your family. I have your wife and child at a location, and you are going to give me this amount of money. You're going to meet me at this location, and you're going to not say a word. Otherwise, I will kill your wife and child. The guy got, obviously, he was like, well, money is not worth my wife and kids' lives, so I'm going to listen to this man. I'm going to meet at this location. They met the location, and what do you think happened? He got kidnapped. And he never saw the dude's face. He got kidnapped. They was put at the location, and he told that same manager guy to let them know that he was fine because they was wondering, hey, he doesn't miss work. He's not like this. Oh, what was going on? What's happening? He doesn't miss work like this. What's going on? He's usually always here on time. He's usually drinking his Starbucks pinkety drinkety coffee at like 8:30 in the morning. Then he walks in, says his highs and goodbyes, and then to the other shifters of the late night shifters. Then he says hello to Jeremy, and then they speak for about 15 minutes, and then they go on and about their business, and he goes on about his day. But I haven't seen him, and it's 9:30 already. What's going on? I haven't seen him since I got in. And everyone was finding it strange. So then he called in and said he was sick, and said that he'll be in soon, later, sometime later throughout the week. But he called in sick and said that he wasn't feeling okay. But but he's just with his wife and his kid right now, and they're taking care of him. So people at the bank wasn't really thinking about it like that. Now, what you don't know is that there's little money trucks that they go and deposit money from in different areas. I'm sure some of you know it, maybe all of you know it, but they do that practically in every country. Like they do it here in America, where you don't really notice, but there be trucks where it has a weird looking name. And then there's money in the back. There's money in that truck, and they're highly secured because there's like cars in front of them and cars behind them, and they all make sure that they're armed and they all make sure that they're safe. Now, what he did was he somehow managed to get the security of that said truck to be discombobulated. Like they were all confused as to what was going on at the times and whatnot. I don't know how he did it. I don't remember how he did it, but he did it, and he pretended to be an officer. Nope, that's how he did it. He pretended to be an officer, and he rode with them. He had the other officers go somewhere completely different while he stayed alone with that truck. And he stopped them and pretended to be on the lookout for someone who kidnapped that manager. He said that our sources have told us that your manager is actually kidnapped and he was being framed. He snitched on himself without snitching on himself. So they were like, oh, well, he's like, well, everyone's kind of a suspect that's working at the bank because he was close to some of you. And, we don't really know what's going on. So I just need to search the vehicle. And they were like, okay, he's an officer. So, he's an officer. He's wearing the actual officer wear. The only thing that was different was that he had a faster bike than the actual officers because it was shaped different. But the reason why they didn't question why he had a different bike than the officers was because he spray painted it the same color that every other vehicle that the officers have that was a motorcycle They all had the same color. He spray painted his bike. He stole a bike and spray painted it that color, so that way no one was suspected. And he himself was wearing an officer's uniform. How he got one, nobody knows still. Still nobody knows how he got an officer's uniform, but he got one. And so he used that to his advantage. And as they got out the car, he took the time to take a flare, light it under the truck. And as they saw smoke, he got back and said, "Get back, it's going to explode." Everybody around ducked and jumped away, and they hid on their faces, and they looked away from the truck. He took the truck and pretended to be a hero officer and drove away with it, with all that cash. 300 million yen. And 10 to 15 minutes go by. And they notice there was no explosion. And when they looked down, they saw a red flare and immediately knew that was the guy. But they couldn't identify him. And he got away with 300 million yen. And to this day, they still can't identify who he was. They still don't know where he is. They don't even know if he's alive or dead. Some random guy claimed to do it and claimed to be that guy that stole the 300 million yen. But then a bunch of other dudes said the same thing, so they can't take their credibility for it. They won't take them in because they're like, nah, we won't do this. We've got to have actual evidence and find a way to find out who this guy is. And to this day, and it's 2022, and to this day, they still don't know who did it. So I said that entire story to say Daikokuten was on his side the entire time, because there ain't no way on earth that any one of us will probably get away with that. I mean, maybe Pastor Rock. Most probably First Lady Rock. She would have probably done it differently, but she would probably get away with that. Who knows? Hey, Curse Flame, he's very convincing with a lot of things, so I'm sure he probably would have smooth talked his way through it. Hey, I'm not sure, but I don't know. But Daikokuten was on his side. He managed to steal 300 million yen, equivalent to almost $3 million in US money, and got away with it scot-free. As soon as he drove off, he was gone. He left the bike there, and I finally identified the bike that it was stolen and spray painted. And it took them months to figure that part out because no one expected him to have that bike. Not to mention, he left no full-on evidence of his DNA. And also at that time, there was really no DNA stuff, like no DNA analysis, so you couldn't really figure out whose fingerprints or whatnot was on there. And officers in Japan wear gloves, so that was also kind of a bruh moment because he didn't take off any of his attire. The only thing he got off of was that bike, and he lit the flare with his gloves on. Daikokuten was on his side apparently, and this is the type of nonsense that even though it happened in Japan. It happened in Japan. I can't feel bad because this is a god that they created. So when someone is dared to do things like this, and I guess they get, quote, blessed, end quote, to do this, and they succeed, and they want to feel sorry for themselves, but you can't because this is a god that you created. This is a god that you took in to be a part of your Japanese gods. Nobody told you to go to India and do some, hey, that was probably racist, I'm sorry. But do some of that and then learn about Hinduism and learn about how, reincarnation exists. Learn about how, we all are just some random person from like 300, 400, 500 years ago, just reincarnated continuously over and over again. Like what? If that's the case, I really do hope that I was somebody famous back then. Because I am pretty sure if any of us was reincarnated, we would know. But they were all, no, that's why deja vu exists. That's why you get deja vu like you've done this before, because that's your past memories coming back saying that, you existed in this time. You've done this before, but back in your previous life. So if I'm having deja vu that I've done this before, why am I having deja vu that I've had a conversation with my brothers looking at a TV, watching a movie? when 300 years ago there was no such thing as television. If I would have gone back in time and said, hey, there's going to be a giant blank screen or a giant blank thing of glass that'll be projecting images at smooth resolution to your faces, and we're going to call that a television. If I said that 300 years ago, I'd have been killed. I'd have been called a witch or a warlock. They would assume that I had the devil in me and that I was doing witchcraft, and they would have been like, "Oh, kill him, kill him! He's doing evil things." Like, no, no, no. That's not how that works. If that's the case, if we was all reincarnated, then who would our reincarnations be? They got to be based on our personalities. If that's the case, and yet nobody told them to go to India, take Hindi gods and bring them into their own set of gods. Like the whole fortune seeking, I get that. If somebody, as they say in the hood, trying to catch that bag, if somebody really out here working hard trying to get that bread, that lettuce, that cheddar, that bacon, you know, they just name it a full on sandwich at this point. And if they really trying to out here getting that, they really out here trying to like make a living for themselves, an honest, hard living, and they take a big risk, like, I don't know, investing either their time or their money or their resources into something like building a business or working at a business for a said period of time, or taking out a trust fund or something like that, or investing into real estate, or I don't know, selling one product and thinking that hopefully maybe this will get me to take off. If that was the type of thing he was supporting, then by all means, I won't say celebrate the god Daikokutin, but by all means, fine. If you have to believe in your mythological gods, then I respect Daikokutin as a relatable fiction character. I will say that because at least he was trying to, give it to those people seeking fortune who are taking risks trying to make an honest living. But when you support people who do 300 million yen bank heists and get away with it scot free with so much money in their possession, who potentially may have moved out of the country already and is in America, who knows, or just somewhere else altogether, and they didn't get caught, and thousands, not just thousands, tens of thousands of males get incarcerated and prosecuted and interviewed and just for no reason, just because they look like somebody. If this is the type of God that you guys want to take care of and worship, then by all means you can keep them. I don't even care. I don't know. No, I'm good. At least Ebisu had the audacity to bless you with good luck if you were a good person. Like at least that was Ebisu. Like if you were just a good soul, you got good luck automatically to him. Either that or you put his name on your business and then you automatically just pretty much just start to pop off and make money. That's pretty much what they're saying for Ebisu. But with Daikokutin, you gotta take risks. You gotta be a thrill seeker. I'm a thrill seeker. I would love to skydive. Well, maybe not bungee jump, but I would love to skydive. I would love to zip line on the world's longest zip line. I mean, man, if I could swim, I'd jump from the highest board thing, the skyboard, whatever the board thing is called. I don't know what it's called, but bouncing board, I don't know, but that is over the pools. I would love to jump from there and all the way down into some 60-inch deep water if I could swim, obviously. But I would do that if I could swim. Oh yeah, I'm taking the challenges. I love the thrills. And I'm sure some of you in here love a thrill. But I don't think any of us would want to be that person to rob a bank truck, which nowadays, now in 2022, would be a lot harder. Why? Because they have things called decoy money, where it's real money, but they have a tracking chip with the money. So if you were to go rob a bank right now, And you think you got everybody under control right there? You give me the money, give me the money, yeah, give me the money. Oh yeah, you already know what it is. Oh, I'm about to get all this. I'm about to get all these bands. Give me all these Benjis. You think you about to get all them Benjis? So well, shoot, you better start spending immediately. You better start taking that Benjis and hiring a good lawyer because there ain't no way that you gonna get all pure money. You gonna get some decoy money because that's what they're instructed to do. That's a fun fact for everybody in here. If you ever go to a bank and you try to rob it, they are told, they are instructed, when you're told to put money in a bag and give it to them, you are to grab from this pile. Why? Because there is decoy money. There is tracking devices in the dollar bills. They will track the money and they will make sure they find you. That's how another guy got caught. And he was a U.S. Marine, trained and everything. He thought he was cold. And he was too. He was robbing banks like crazy. Left and right and left and right and left and right. And he robbed the same bank like 3 times. He did a total of 6 bank heists. I would have stopped at 1. The first bank heist he got, y'all want to know how much he made? I don't remember the exact amount, but I do remember the price range. Over $300,000. Over 300 G's? Oh, no, bro. I'm good. I'm good after that. If I ain't get caught then, I'm not going to make myself into a position where I'm going to get caught again, or now, or the next time I do it. He says, skip that. There's not enough money. He did it a second time. Same bank. He waited. Came back with the same outfit, the same antics, left again with a bigger haul of over 400 G's. I'm about to do it a third time. Same bank again. And he went there, same antics. He didn't pull a big of a haul, like 60 or 70 G's. Oh, that's not enough for me. When you pretty much got more than collectively, you have at least $750,000. Stop. He's pushing his luck too far at this point. He didn't get caught those 3 times robbing that same exact bank with the same vehicle, same clothes, same stuff, same voice. Like, bro, what are you doing? I get it's the same thing, but eventually, if you do it once, fine. You do it a second time, they gonna think you coming back a third. And somehow you come back a third time and they still didn't catch you. Now that's on them. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I don't remember the saying. But at this point, we're about to catch you slipping. That's what they were saying. And that was an FBI case because it got that bad. You mean to tell me that they care for this dude, Daikokutin? This man has been blessed by Daikokutin several times. Like, I'm not even kidding now. Like, if Daikokutin was a real deity, like a real deity, he just blessed that man severely because there ain't no way that you can rob a bank 3 times in a row. Now, I'm not counting the other 3. He did a total of 6. I'm not counting the other 3 separate robberies he did after. I'm saying the 3 times he did for the one bank, that one same bank that he lives nearby. He was 40 miles away from that bank. He lived so close to that bank. And nobody thought to think, let's scour the area. Let's do at least up to 50 to 100-mile radius of a scan and figure out, like, start analyzing everywhere who got how much money and whatnot and whatnot. His family was wondering, where is you getting all this money from? He was like, oh, my workout business is taking off. Yo, coaching business flopped. It flopped. And he lied to his parents. He bought them expensive stuff. He bought his dad a new car. He bought his mom a new car. He was spending money on girls. He was spending money on jewelry. He was spending money on new clothes. He was just spending so much money. I don't know how they didn't catch this man because of the amount of money he was spending. You commit a robbery. And then you start going on a spending spree? You can't do that. If they're on high alert, you can't just do that. You can't take money, try to deposit, or you can't take the money. After you take the money, you try to deposit into your bank account, or you try to splurge on it. You can't do that immediately. You gotta wait till the heat died down. But his idiot self thought that it would work. And I guess it did because they didn't catch him off of that. They caught him with a new thing called tracking dollars that banks use nowadays. Because his sixth and final heist, lo and behold, I lied to y'all. He went back to that bank a fourth time. But that was the last heist he did because he went to another bank, went there twice. They didn't have a big haul. He was like, you know what has a big money haul? Because somehow money was coming low, even though you had a $750,000. I don't know where all that went. But hey, if this man had an agenda, he probably had people to pay. I doubt it, but if he did, he did. But since he was like, okay, you know what? This ain't enough for me. I gotta do it one more time. I gotta do it one more time. One more time. I didn't get caught for 5 times. I would have stopped the first time if I was him. But if I'd known that it would have took me 6 tries to get caught, I'd have pushed my luck to at least 3. At most 3. I'm not doing past 3. I'm sorry. I would have done 1, 2 to risk it a little bit, and 3 just to be an idiot. And then after that, I'm done. If I didn't get caught those 3 times robbing the same place over and over again with the same strategy over and over again, I would have waited. I would have been done. I would have been like, no, I'm good. But nope. Over the course of 6 months, this man committed 6 robberies. Not 1 every month. I don't. And that 6th robbery, he went to that same bank, same antics, left out with over $500,000. He drove home. And he thought he was safe. But when the police found out that that robbery had happened, they reached the FBI. FBI was like, oh no, you thought you got away. That's your butt, baby boy. I'm sorry. And they tracked this man down to his place and said he lives 40 plus miles away from us. Let's get this man. They went up, found him. He tried to play it off. Was like, oh, what, huh? What y'all talking about? Oh, I don't know what y'all talking about. They identified the vehicle, and they knew that that was the vehicle. He got arrested, and when they searched the house for the money, he hid it Mr. Krabs style. It was under his freaking mattress. Oh my gosh, bro. How you gonna tell me that you put your money under your mattress? Oh wow, bruh. Like he really pushed his luck so far. Geico Kuthin had many more other thieves to bless. There was a lot more thievery stories that I can share with y'all. There's a lot more stories. So yeah, a lot more people. Remember, these guys aren't omnipotent. They aren't omniscient. They aren't omnipresent. So they gotta be physically there, or at least hovering over the area. They gotta be like Reaper from Overwatch, clearing the area. Like they gotta make sure. They gotta make sure that they got everywhere. That's why it takes them time to get to places. That's why instead of Zeus just appearing out of nowhere, he has to turn into a bird and fly everywhere. Like, no. These guys aren't mighty at all. If they can't have proper transportation to be faster than a human, Zeus has to turn into a whole eagle to fly somewhere to meet his women. Meanwhile, you got somebody like Elon Musk who will probably use a Lamborghini and get there 10 times faster than Zeus could. Are you kidding me? No. Nah. The guy got caught and he was arrested. And he's still in prison to this day. He doesn't get out till like 2030 something. And I guarantee you he'll try to do it again. I guarantee it. Because he lost all that money. They couldn't repossess the things that his parents got. They didn't repossess it. They didn't take the cars or anything. They didn't do none of that because it was kind of fair play for the parents, and they would be out of something because they needed those things now. It's like he actually got them cars. It's like I respect him for that much. Like you bought your parents vehicles, some very nice, beautiful vehicles, and probably some essentials for your other family members or just your parents. I respect you on that. But the way you acquired it and how many times you acquired that amount and made the stupid decision to push your luck, that is crazy. That is beyond me. I don't understand it. Like he must have thought he could just keep doing this forever, and it wasn't gonna, like it wasn't just gonna backfire. Like he thought it was just gonna be so simple, just easy as one, two, three, easy as pie. Like that is just not the reality. I'm sorry. He was insane, but for a minute that insanity was really working to his favor because he was going over the same place 3 times. Then he stopped being insane and went to another place twice. It wasn't picking up a big haul, so he was like, "Yeah, let me use my insane tech." But nah, baby boy, we got the medicine over here. We got them tracking dollars. We got the medicines over here. Dollars, Grummet. Where's my tracking dollars? Oh, it's right here, right in this man's bag, along with the other $500,000. And you telling me, wow. And this is the God, and this is a God that people in Japan took and added to their 7 gods of luck. Make no sense. Make no sense that you worship a God who encourages doing something that could harm you. There ain't no way that you would hear Jesus telling you, "Oh yeah, go ahead and drink that alcohol." Jesus drank wine. It was pure, you dummy. There was no There was no there was no stuff in it. It was all just pure grape juice. What are you talking about? Well, just grape juice at that point. What you talking about? It was that grape Kool-Aid from grandmama's house. What you talking about, bruh? What you mean, man? Jesus probably made some killer grape Kool-Aid, man. Sure. I love to get me a glass of that. Probably the best grape Kool-Aid in my life. I don't like grape Kool-Aid, but I would have tried it. Jesus would have made it, man. I ain't missing that. I ain't missing a glass of that for the world. I'm sorry. Ain't no way Jesus talking about some encouraged drink. Oh, weed is from the earth. Okay. And so is poison ivy. So are deadly snakes. So are venomous spiders. So are lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Things that can kill you. Things that can kill you. Creatures that can kill you. There are poisonous mushrooms. You gonna eat those too? Cause those from the earth? No. You wouldn't do that. Oh no, those gonna kill me. So what do you think weed is doing to you? Oh, I get a buzz from weed. Oh man, my vision's so weird. And but you think that's normal? Any medicine that you take that the doctor prescribes to you, at most would make you sleepy. That's what would make you dizzy. It's the antibiotics in there. This is supposed to help you. But it's gonna have side effects where you're gonna be sleepy, you're gonna be drowsy, dizzy, nausea, vomiting, maybe death. But these are warnings that they give you because they let you know what you're ingesting, but these are to help you. Ask your doctor about it. They tell you to ask your doctor. Come on now. Ask your doctor before taking such and such. Because and death. That you always hear death. You don't hear anything else. Maybe nausea, maybe vomiting, but you always hear death at the end. And then they say ask your doctor. Like if I'm hearing death for this new medicine that's coming out, I don't think I want to ask my doctor should I take it if it could cause death. I'm good. But at the same time too, risk takers, right? But not just any type of risk takers. You got to be a thief. Ain't no way on God's beautifully created green and blue earth am I going to sit here and believe that Jesus put weed on here for us, put cannabis onto the earth for us to smoke. It was not for that. Wine was not alcoholic. What else they gonna say? What, God encourages murdering people?
Oh, God put his hand over. He was helping lead the Israelites through their wars. He was encouraging murdering people.
Okay, cool, fine, sure. So if we're gonna use that logic, okay, fine, bet. So you're also murdering someone if they enter your home, correct? I just want to know, just to clarify. If someone was to enter your home to steal from you because they worship Daikokuten and you worship Jesus, but you're saying that Jesus condones murder, right? But you don't want to follow Christ. You don't want to follow him because he condones murder and you don't believe in that. You think God is just sinning because he's contradicting, because if we murder, it's a sin, but somehow God can help others commit murder. So by that logic, by your logic, if someone comes in and they worship Daikokuten, let them steal your stuff and walk out your door. Or shoot, you can fight them.
Oh, but no, God says turn the other cheek.
Okay, sure. Then just sit there and watch them as they take your stuff. They take your brand new PS5, your big 70-inch TV, two controllers, charging stations, PSI camera, and your mic. And then they go turn around and raid your dressers, take all your clean clothes, all your Fruit of the Looms drawers. They gonna take all your Levi's and all your Versace's and all your Gucci stuff. They gonna sit up there and raid all your Mickey Mouse shirts and all your My Little Pony shirts. And then they best believe taking that um freaking limited edition Barbie house. Oh yeah, because Life in the Dream House, remember? Oh yeah, no, now I gotta say it. See, they gonna take that Life in the Dream House plastic edition. Oh yes, sir. They don't want the ceramic, they want that plastic because everything is fantastic when you made of it. So they like, hey, if it's fantastic when you made of it, let me take some of it. Why not? And you gotta sit there and watch them by your logic. Every mythological god has some contradictory about them. They have some flaw and they're always limited. Three things to look for when you hear about any other God other than Jesus. There's always those three things: contradiction, flaw, contradiction, a flaw, and limits. And we already know what daikokutens are. Jesus doesn't contradict himself. If he says thou shalt not kill, he meant murder. You won't murder. So if somebody's breaking into your home and they trying to kill you or steal your stuff and they got a deadly weapon, hey man, I'm saying if you can, try not to. But if you got to do what you got to do, then you got to do what you got to do. Pastor Rock is a pastor. But let somebody break into this house right here and they try to take Bubs. They try to shoot Bubs or shoot First Lady Rock or shoot me. Oh no. Oh no. Pastor Rock put his hat back to the back of his head, to the cat to the back of his head, sag his pants, pull out the blicky, turn it sideways, and shove it straight up. Yo, monkey. No, let me stop. But nah. Immediately, somebody getting folded. I'm sorry. Because ain't no way that would happen. There's no contradictory in the Bible. There's no contradictions. There's no contradictions in the Bible. There's no contradictions about Jesus. There's no contradictions in Christianity. Apostolic faith, at least. But yet we read about him. We haven't even gone through all of the first half. He has four parts. He has four parts to his attributes. We've only gone through the first of the four parts. And already, I done told you two stories where Daikokuten potentially blessed those two people. The only difference is that he showed more favor on the Japanese guy than the white guy. Why? Well, simple. Because he was a Japanese god. So he's going to favor his own people. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, let's all be honest here. He's just going to, hey, it's fair game. And he helped out that guy completely. I mean, 5 times was enough. That 6th time, nah, bro, you thought, I'm sorry, but I can't keep helping you. That's what he was saying. Like, hey, can't help the Japanese out. He was a mastermind. He was a genius. He said, steal motorcycle, spray painted colors, wear officer uniform, make sure I'm covered up, and then I'm gonna turn around and light a flare under it, tell everybody to get down, and when no one's looking, steal the truck, and I'm home free. This man really made a 5, 6, 7-step plan and was nowhere near to be found for years and had everybody else every other male in the country take the blame but him. And he was just chilling, probably sipping on his pina coladas with Daikoku and the other 6 gods of luck. And they just all sat there and he's like, oh, how'd you get all this money? All was simple, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like that. I'm him, you know what I'm saying? I'm him. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I'm him. You know, I'm just like that. You know what I'm saying? It's all for the game. So Jesus come down and say, trust me, pal, you're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. And show him he's not that guy. Because he's not. It's once again, next Friday, we will continue Daikokuten so we can finish him appropriately before I move on to Bishamonten, who is another one of the 7 lucky gods. So, with that being said, at least if I can't finish Daikokuten fully, I'll give you the popular culture that he appears in. So, 3 places that they gave as examples. In the video game Yokai Watch, Daikokuten is a supernatural creature. In the manga series Nekogami Yaoyoruzu, the character Maiko is the granddaughter of Daikokuten, even wielding his mallet. And in the anime Noragami, Daikokuten is one of the names Okuninushi goes by. From these 3 pop culture references, I didn't understand a single thing because I don't watch or read or know anything about any of these anime or manga. But he appears in those. And to this day, people still worship Daikokuten as if he's just this perfect god that needs to be worshipped too. I'm sorry, but if I gotta take risks, bad risks, like if I gotta take a deal that obviously there is no way for me to get out of it, just to get your blessing, I'm good. I'm good. So, with that being said, thank you all so much for listening to me kind of rant and ramble a bit. And thank you for listening to my stories and my examples of why the world is stupid. I'm sorry, but the human brain, we just losing brain activity by the generations. I'm sorry. It is what it is. We just losing brain function. Like proper brain function, as in the ability to actually have common sense. We're just losing it. Because there's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. There shouldn't be a way, but there is. So I'm going to go ahead and sit in the back room and drink my water while Bill and Fred end the show for me. Thank you all. Bill, Fred, it's in your hands now. Well, that got extreme. What do you say, Fred?
Well, Bill, I find it to be very kind of stupid. But you know what? If that's the case, if Daikubusa was real, all those years ago, I could have stole that watch.
You want to steal a watch?
Yeah, I wanted to steal a watch. It was a nice watch that I wanted to steal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I've had my thievery days that I wanted to do myself.
I thought you were always a goody two-shoes.
I'll never kiss and tell.
Of course you'll never kiss and tell. Well, that's all today, folks. Thank you for listening in to this week's TSU sessions. We're your co-hosts, Fred
And Bill.
and that was Lord of the Night. And there's the announcer guy, dude, whatever you want to call him. Hopefully we find out his name sometime later. We don't know what his name is. But we all thank you all for listening and tuning in. Hopefully you all can take something from this. We love and appreciate you all. Bill?
We just want to tell you all, remember, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life.
No one can come unto the Father but by him. Now, thank you all, and God bless. In Jesus' name.